Hey, you guys! Here I am. It's me, Mary Setrakian. Hello from New York City. And welcome to Mary's book series number 3. Yep. I'm taking questions and we're hanging out regarding my book, Sing, Find a True Voice. You can get it on Amazon. If you're in New York City, you can get it at the Drama Bookshop. But really, we're going to take your questions today about singing together, about my revolutionary send, which is connecting voice technique with your emotions. And today's super special because I want to highlight the Phantom of the Opera, because we all know that Phantom, sadly closed on Sunday, but I think it's going to be back soon. But it's been so cool to see so many posts about Phantom and its wonderful run for 35 years. It's just so spectacular. So thank you for being here, Alberto from Italia. Thank you for coming, honey. I'm so happy to see you. Good morning, Chicane. You're here. Yes. Tell me as you're coming on where you're signing in from. It's just so fun that you guys are all from around the world. And as we're signing on, we'll get our ducks in a row of what we're going to do today. I've really got some shout outs. First of all, for some wonderful reviews about the book. I'm just so honored. Like Miriam, who comes here all the time, got the book and did just a beautiful 5-star review. Just so honored. And I love that she was saying, even if you've never sung before, you can really get something from this book. That made me so happy. And Roger, I don't know if you're here today, but would thank you for your beautiful review. Aaron Mueller, he did a review on this book series, and just so thrilled that the book is taking him back to his voice, and he's now pursuing his opera career as well. So this has just been thrilling to see the feedback. Thanks, you guys. Hey, Ron. Hello from Washington State. You rock. Wow. It was so wonderful to hear your voice this week. So cool. Hi, Roseanne. I'm good. Thank you, honey. And the Netherlands is in the house. You guys are always here. I just so honored and so thrilled. Chicane, you're in California, my home state. So you're up early, which is so cool for you to be singing early. Isabel, there you are from Guatemala. Yeah, you were in Spain. Oh my gosh. Whoa, such a treat. Such a treat. So the two big questions, I've been asking every week. I ask around and say, hey, you guys, you have any questions? What's going on? And two that arrived, I really, really intense and interesting. First of all, Kat, that's her name, Kat Pirate. I was calling her Pirate. Kat, are you here? I think you said you were going to come on today. But she said that she had a teacher who told her to belt everything, or to use her belt voice and pull up the chest voice to every note, all the high notes, which is actually humanly impossible to bring up your full chest voice. You can only bring it up to a B flat, like Shame. That in I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis, that goes up to B flat. Then you can do full chest all the way up to there. But full chest, higher than that, we're faking them out that we're doing full chest, but we're really not. And so if you've been instructed to do that, no wonder you told me, Mary, I've got this horrible thing in my throat. Now that question is for volume 2 of my book, which will be out hopefully by Valentine's Day next year. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that question and how we can solve that in the meantime, using volume 1, actually, because you have to go through volume 1 before you can get to volume 2. So that's one of the, there you are, Kat. Woo! Okay, honey, good. I'm so happy you're here. This is going to be our number 1 question, which we're going to solve it with volume 1. Okay. And I'm going to be very clear about how you need to heal this issue. Because as I told you in my message, I hope you saw it, you've trained your nervous system now to think that I have to bring all this energy up from my throat because you were instructed by that. And so now and for whatever reason, it caught in your throat, which is understandable. So we're going to go through the steps to clear that up. Okay, sound good? Yes. And then I had a very similar question I don't know if he's here today. He goes by Stake Driven Entertainment. And he was giving some feedback on my quarantine lesson number 1, which was a couple years ago now, right? That was 2020, 3 years ago, when the first lesson I was doing Phantom. So we're kind of revisiting Phantom today. And he said whenever he hits, say you love me he said he would go, say, and scream, and it would go in his throat. Very similar to Cat Pirate, what she's dealing with. So we're going to solve those issues today using a beautiful song to help us solve those issues. Sound good? Give me a little thumbs up or let me know if that sounds good to you. I'm trying to think of other questions. Those were really the 2 main questions I got this week. So we're going to focus in, and that's good for all of us. Even if you're feeling like, Mary, I don't have an issue of singing in my throat because I understand your techniques now. Cool. But it's always, always good to revisit these exercises and this work. Great. Glad I'm getting the thumbs up from Isabel, also and Roseanne. Thank you guys. And of course, Cat Pirate. Are you doing pirate, like as in pirate, the stone? One of my favorite stones. It's so grounding. So this is fabulous. Okay. I wanted to say in advance as well that one of my most trained sopranos. Her name's Taylor Pardell. She's a Canadian, and she sings opera. She's gone in for Phantom for Christine many, many times. She was just flown to London for an audition. So she's a pro, and she's been reading my book and also listening to the audio book. And I said, listen, I'm going to have more advanced exercises in volume 2. But I hope you enjoy volume 1. These are basic exercises. So, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Well, she wrote me back and said, listen, these are great exercises. Don't think that they're basic, because I needed to come back to this. I needed to come back to everything. So, okay, of course, I got a message from a student coming up, so I'm just going to write her back. So all is well. We're gonna go through those exercises right now, which is really, really cool. Okay. So sorry, it's like business comes in. There it is. Okay. Okay, here we are. All right, so let's get to work. Woo-hoo. It's like, we have to multitask when we're teaching and working. You guys feel that too? I think so. So the main thing we're looking at today to solve this issue is what's called the front passage. Now, I know you've been with me and we work on all this stuff, so you know what I'm talking about, many of you. But we are going to revisit the front passage. This is what I call your dominant resonator. This is our resonator. We're going to change our thought that our voice lives here. Yes, you have vocal cords. They're very important. Absolutely. If you don't have vocal cords, you can't sing or speak. But there's a quantum theory that says if we focus on a molecule, the molecule changes its state. So if we focus on our throat, as both Stake-Driven Entertainment is doing when he's trying to sing Say You Love Me, and also Cat, when you're trying to bring up this chest, it's focusing in on your throat. We are going to change our focus. So this is what I call the dominant resonator. These bones and cartilage in your face, they surround air pockets, they vibrate. Say this with me now. Put your hands here, chew, feel, see if you can feel vibration around your mouth. Can you feel that? Now, we haven't gone through breath and support. You have to have breath and support really very clear. It can't be wrong. If it's wrong, this won't solve the issue. But this now, I'm focusing right now on this dominant resonator, because even for Cat, yes, we all have a chest resonator that's also vibrating at the same time. But I'm telling you right now, Cat, we're not going to focus on the chest resonator as our dominant resonator. it right now. We will later when we're belting, but right now we're going to heal your situation. We're going to understand that there is chest resonating, like me talking to you now. If I put my hand here, ooh, I feel vibration here. I also feel vibration here. Now, if I wasn't going to have any chest in the sound, I would be talking like this, kind of like Michael Jackson and his family. They talk above it. They talk above their other resonators. So, but when I talk like this, I'm not focusing on my chest. I'm just focusing on my cheeks and the front passage. I'm trusting that this is resonating. Now, men, same for you. Men and women, some of these things, guys, we have to think differently. Because, why? Because of hormones. That's the only reason. Because men have certain hormones, testosterone, so their voice has a different complexity than women. Women, our voice is naturally an octave higher than men because of hormones. So there are a couple places where we have to think about certain things differently. The first one is that men, the front passage resonator is always 100% of the time going to be your dominant resonator. Always, always, always. You're never going to think about singing only in your chest. It's okay. I got to get the picture. Oh, I have it right in front of me. Hi. Okay. So men, don't worry about this. Sometimes for ladies, we're going to think about only vibrating in the chest. For men, you might think about, that's between belters. Women can belt. Okay, so here's another little tip for all of us. Belting. Let's just define belting for a moment. We can all say, let's belt it out. That's fine. Men, women, children, belt it out, Louise. Sing it out, belt it out. That just means really send your voice. That's all that term means. Now, as far as belting goes, women are belters, can also have this other style, which we call belting. And men, you don't have that same voice. Yes, you can have chest resonance, of course. But when you sing only in your chest, the sound doesn't change. Now, when you sing higher and you go into falsetto, your voice does change. It changes into this sort of women's octave. Ladies, we don't have falsetto. We can sing higher and higher and higher, and it sounds tinier and sort of more Minnie Mouse. It's called whistle register. But men have true falsetto where their voice changes into this other place. So ladies, we can change our sound by changing the resonator. If I sing this note, mi, ma, mi. You can sing that with me. I'm just thinking of it vibrating around my cheeks. Mi, ma. Now, if I choose for a woman, if I choose a different resonator, I'm going to now choose in my chest. So I'm just choosing where to resonate the tone. But today, we are only choosing the dominant resonator. This is what I call our home base resonator. I've only met one really super talented woman. Her name's Jerry Sager. She's the only person in the world. There might be one other who is in our Les Mis cast. Her name is Audrey, where the chest voice is indeed her home base resonator. For whatever reason, when she sings, it's that. Oh, also Florence Lacey. I understudied Florence Lacey as Eva Perón, and I also understudied her on Broadway as Irene Malloy. She also, her home base resonator truly is her voice, her chest voice. Incredible as a belter. And Jerry Herman loved her voice. I mean, she was Jerry Herman's favorite singer for his music for the women. He just adored her, and I can see why, because she's just a great actress, great singer. She was such a mentor for me when I was understudying her. But for the rest of us, our home base is the front passage. Now, both Jerry and Flo, they speak here. They don't speak like this. So they certainly use this for speaking. But for their singing, for whatever reason, it just goes chest, and I honor them. But for the rest of us, we're going to focus here today. And this is going to heal our voice. As Taylor said, go back to the truth, to the intimate truth of our voice, so that we can go anywhere. Sound good? Okay. So now we're going to start at the beginning, and I always worry that you guys are going to be bored because it's like we're repeating. But you know what? I love it because I get a voice lesson too. So remember, in my book, we have what I call the Revolutionary Send. And so if you have the book, get it out now. You're going to go to page, oh gosh, there's not a page number on that page. So I always kind of try to figure out what it is. Oh, right. Okay, 17, 18, 19, 20, page 20. So here's our Revolutionary Send. You can see voice technique side, the breath, support, resonance. Notice number 3 is resonance. That's the front passage resonator. That's what I was just talking about. Super important. Floors, which is very important for singing the higher notes, which we're going to get to, pyramid. And then we've got the emotional life side, which is personalization, fourth wall, sensory condition, need, and action. We're going to use those elements, especially number 1 and 2, to begin personalization and fourth wall, because that helps our technique, and our technique helps the emotions. So this is super, super important. What is Ron saying? Is it possible to get too thin a sound by improper focusing on the front passage? The only way we're going to get to the going up the floors, Ron, which you've seen before. So when we're singing in the front passage resonator, when we sing higher, we're going up the floors. Now notice, we also, when we go up the floors, we have what I call the pyramid. The space of that note is going to get smaller and smaller. And I really, really love your question because, for example, I went to Boy George's musical on Broadway, seeing a wonderful student of mine, Asa Summers. He was taking over the lead. And I was watching the show, and there was a young tenor doing the tenor lead, rock and roll. And the whole, to your point, Ron, the whole first act, he was singing nasal. So I think that would be called too thin. It was just like nasal, and I was thinking, what is going on? Why would they choose this guy with a nasal voice? And then intermission came. Asa was fabulous. It was a great show. And I thought to myself, you know what? I bet you anything in the second act, he's going to have a really high rock and roll song, and he's going to kill it. Sure enough, second act, high rock and roll song, and he killed it. Why? Because this smaller space for high notes, you have to have that smaller space for high notes. What he was doing is what I call high note envy. He was bringing that space, that physics of high notes down to his lower notes. And so his voice was to your point, too thin. In this case, I would call it too nasal. So we have to really honor our full range of going up the floors of the front passage. What's happening to stake-driven entertainment, when he said, I'm singing high on Say You Love Me, he's reaching from his throat up to the note. Now we have to change our thought. It's really quite interesting that we have to use our mind and guide our mind to the front passage and to a smaller space. In fact, the note is on what we call a passaggio note, which many of you would call your break. I don't call it break because you're not broken. But it's even going to be a tighter space with more support. So if you don't have support for those high notes, you're not going to be able to make it. It's really fascinating. When you're an older woman, there's Leah, who's just amazing. I think you're in your 70s and just spectacular artist. Are you more likely to have a chest voice? So of course you have a chest voice, honey. When we get older, what could many people say, oh, my voice is getting lower. And that's true for me too. Like I used to sing high D's. Now it's more like the high B range, which is still, I think, pretty amazing. And I asked my throat doctor, I said, do I have any issues? Because I did have some issues before, and a doctor helped me cure that. But he goes, maybe your vocal cords have are a little bit infringed from age, but they look amazing and everything's great. So what you're saying, your voice is dropping low. You are, yes, you're a belter first, I would call you. But when you did your debut video, which you guys, if you want to go to my Facebook, if you find Leah Bear, oh my God, her debut is so stunning that you are in your front passage and you're pinging all the higher notes in the pyramid. Your higher notes have a smaller, tighter space. Your lower notes are down the floors around your mouth. This is like a guitarist going up the frets of his guitar, or a violinist going up the neck of the violin. We have to use this because it's all about physics of singing. And so, yes, with older age, maybe your low notes will be more available, and you'll have deeper low notes. The other thing about pregnant women, if you're pregnant, your higher notes might feel like they're more difficult to sing. Why? Because hormones, here goes the hormone thing. You have more hormones as a pregnant woman, and your vocal cords get thicker. Also, ladies, when you have your period, your vocal cords are thicker. If you're on the pill, your vocal cords are thicker. So therefore, your thicker cords mean lower notes. So it might be harder to get your higher notes because the vocal cords have to stretch thinner. Now, if you have your support and you're doing the physics, which we're going to go through even more, you'll be fine. Don't worry. But, enjoy those low notes. Leah, enjoy your lower notes. It's wonderful with age that you have those lower notes. What I love about your voice is it's very fresh and clean, and not because you have good technique now because you've read my book, but also you're a great actress. So you're bringing your acting tools. I don't really have to teach you that much. I can just say, oh, put your person there and sing to them. You know where to go because you've studied it for so long. And that is helping your technique because you're not checking your voice. You're just sending. And you're aware of these wonderful tools now because you read my book. And that's why I was just like, your debut sounded like you could be doing it on Broadway. It was so beautiful. I was so impressed. So Alberto, the idea of passage, front passage should be reviewed on the basis of the floors. So what comes first, Alberto, is just thinking of this front passage. This is now our voice in front of here. These bones, cartilage, they vibrate. Let's say that together. So that's the first step. And now, as I'm speaking to you and I'm connected to my breath and support, let's just do this quickly so we have it. Do an S for me. If you're like me and you see your sternum popping out, you're all set. The belly button's moving in. So if I do the same action and say, tongue trill, because it keeps moving in. Can you do that and see your sternum popping out? That means you're hooked up with your breath and support. Now you have to have this belly button popping in, like starting the car, and keep moving like two balls spinning. Then we connect that energy with right to our voice, which now we're changing our idea that our voice lives here. Instead, we're going to think of the speakers of our voice as our voice. That will really help us in our technique of singing. Now, anatomy, other things are going on. The vocal cords are vibrating. We can look inside and say, ooh, what's going on in our anatomy? But that's not a pedagogy. That's anatomy. Now, I'm teaching you the pedagogy of how to think about your voice so that it's magnificent and vibrates in its most awesome potential. That's where we're going. So, again, Alberto, the first layer is just the front passage. Where I'm speaking from right now. I have a fun exercise where we go mi, me, ma. That's us to get us aware of the front passage. Now, as I'm going up the scale, Or with M. Cool. The next layer is going up the floors. That's the next layer. First layer, just the passage. Here it is. Now I want to deal with my range. That's when I start going up the floors. Now we can go up the floors without thinking of this smaller space right away. Happy birthday, dear Alberto. Tanti auguri ad Alberto. Okay, so higher floor. Now, if I want to go super high, the support is going to, these balls are going to spin faster from the belly button moving in. Belly button, that's where our support begins. Just like when we sneeze. Achoo! The foundation of a building's at the bottom. That's our belly button. Super belly button. And then we swing the belly button in. And then, Alberto, we can go up the floors. Want to go higher? Up the floors in a shape of a pyramid. Not, doesn't work. And I start getting tension in my throat. So that's why you're having so much trouble, Kat. It's just like you're bringing up all this energy up. So, Kat, are you able to feel the sensation of vibration around your cheeks right now? This is your home base, honey. Don't think of your chest voice anymore as your home base. I promise you we'll get to chest and we'll get to belting for women. I really promise. But you have to do this in steps. You have to get this first. Hello. Say it how I would. Woohoo! Glad to have you here. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, perfect. So does that help, Alberto, with your question? Ron, thank you, honey, for saying that. He said that, reviewing the concepts works very well. It's really super important. And now I'm going to go through breath and support again to get it clear. But I wanted to really, for you guys to understand today, what we're focusing on is thinking our throat. Yes, we bless it and it's here, but we're going to change our thought. We're not putting our thought in our throat any longer. We're going to let our vocal cords do their thing. How are we going to do that? By organizing the breath and the support with the vibration. And this is our home base now. Home base resonator, right, Kat? I feel vibration, but not if I sing higher. Stop worrying about higher notes right now, okay? Just go for here. I promise we'll go through the next steps. I really promise. If you feel vibration, that's great. Don't call it switching to head voice. Just right now, be in your front passage around your cheeks. That's all I want from you right now, honey, because you have a problem and we've got to solve it, okay? Right now, forget about high notes, forget about your chest. Just go for vibration here. Tell me again, do you feel vibration around your cheeks when you go, and chew, or do you feel it in your mouth? Everybody feels it differently. So tell me how you feel it, okay? Tell me where you feel it, Kat. That's so important. Yeah, Ron says it's kind of like playing your face resonators. I love that, honey. You're a musician, you also play other instruments, I think. So yeah, we're using our face, especially for men. This is your dominant resonator always, no matter what style you're singing in, this is your dominant resonator. Now, you might be styling it differently, like doing straight tone or all vibrato or scooping. That's your styling for different styles of singing, from pop to opera. Opera, we always go for vibration and overtones and vibrato. Okay, here comes Kat. I felt it in my nose and on my mouth. Yay! Good! That's our first step. Okay, now let's go back to breath and support. This is what stake-driven entertainment doesn't have, and this is what you don't have correct either, Kat. So here we go. In fact, Kat, take a moment and tell me, what did your teacher, how do you understand what support is? Like if you were to do the perfect support, what were you told to do? Hi, Pryor. Hi, Lewis. Woohoo! Great to see you, honey. Wow. Now, Lewis, also, this is a perfect one for you to be seeing today, Lewis, because Lewis, his middle voice around here, just like you, Kat, you feel the vibration, is great. When he starts going up to high notes, he freaks out and it goes in his throat. So this is our theme today. Wow, what a theme. This is crazy. Okay, let's get a drink of water and take a moment. Okay. The first one on the revolutionary send is the breath. When I use the word the breath, I'm only talking about the inhale. How do we inhale? Okay. What often happens and what I've never seen you, Kat, ever. But I bet you anything that if you say I'm taking a breath, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you're not, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do this. Or you're trying to breathe out like that. If you're taking a breath like that, then you're already jammed. Hi, Roger. So glad you're here, honey. Woohoo! Thanks for coming. This is great for you today, too. I really, really like this for you because I know you want your higher notes. Okay, here we go. So, no, we can't breathe like that. So what we're going to do instead is learn how the body breathes when you guys are sleeping at night. This is the exact breath our body uses when you're sleeping at night. Why wouldn't we use this breath when we're awake? A lot of us don't. We hold our breath. We breathe high in our chest. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Because if you breathe like this, like how the body wants, which we're going to do right now, one of the main reasons, not for everybody, but one of the main reasons is that you will feel all of your emotions of how you feel right now. Now, if you're going through stress, and in my book, I have so many stories about this, you guys, you might get really inspired and help you understand your problem by reading the stories too. So they're integrated into the guide. If you're breathing as the body works, you are aware of how you're feeling. If you are trying to avoid feelings that you don't want to feel because it's too painful, then you are going to be jammed and you're going to breathe up here. And the unfortunate news is when you avoid them, they fester. They go down there, they fester, and they are not able to release. And when they're not able to release, that's when you can maybe get sick, or maybe like some people say, oh my God, I've got a sore throat. I can't get rid of it, because your body's telling you, you've got to speak out what's inside. So how cool that we're singers, because we have the responsibility for this breath, and how cool that we'll visit these difficult emotions, because we need them for our artists to be able to sing through them. So it's a win-win situation. Okay. So this is great, Kat. She says, I've been trying to learn correct way of breathing for the last 3 years now, but I never had a good teacher and could explain it clearly. Okay. I'm going to try to be your good teacher and explain it clearly. Okay. So let's do this. I'm practicing super belly button and the correct breath every morning. Mary started some days ago. Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Leah. It's a great idea. Yeah, here we go. Where are your lungs? I know I can't see you, but show me anyway. Where are your lungs? Yes, our lungs are here in the chest cavity. Here's my picture. All my pictures are by Christopher Gunn. We worked together to find these wonderful pictures so it would be very clear. That's my wish. Okay. Now, when we breathe, when we're not thinking about it, when you're sleeping at night, where do you breathe? At the top of the lungs or the bottom of the lungs? Okay, it's pretty clear. The bottom of the lungs. That's where we're going to start our inhale. So as the singer, we're going to understand, okay, I'm not going to go up here. I'm going to think of air starting at the bottom of the lungs. But then how do these balloons blow up? How does it even happen? We have to now visit the anatomy. We're visiting the anatomy so we know the truth. If we know the truth, you don't need me. You can go, I know what I'm supposed to do. I can use my mirror. I'll know when it's correct. I don't want you to need me. I want you to go off and fly on your own. But you need me right now? Here I am. Okay. So everybody talks about the diaphragm. What the heck? They talk about it, but they don't tell you what really is happening. They confuse us. Now, in my book, I have, especially in the breath and support chapters, all of the technical chapters, I have confusing phrases. So those of you who studied a lot and feel confused, like you, Kat, be sure to go to the confusing phrases. I put them in the beginning of the chapter. And then after you read the chapter and understand how to really do it, I go through every confusing phrase. I want you to be clear. Okay. Here's this famous diaphragm. It's right underneath the lungs. It's even attached to the lungs, believe it or not. So it's like we're three-dimensional, so it goes all the way around. Of course, there's a hole in the middle so blood can go through our body. But this is a muscle. What kind of muscle is it? Like our heart, like our vocal cords, it's an involuntary muscle. We don't directly tell it to move. So just to say quickly for the confusing phrases, it's very folklore chat to say, breathe from the diaphragm, breathe into the diaphragm, do diaphragmatic breathing, use the diaphragm. Okay, could be true, but then our focus is on the diaphragm. If we focus on a molecule, it changes it. If we're trying to focus and tell the diaphragm to move, it's going to jam because it's involuntary. It needs to do it by itself. Now, how does it do it by itself? Let's find that out. How does the diaphragm move by itself? And why does it need to move? Why does it even need to move? Why? I want you to know the truth. Okay. This is what nobody tells you. In our neck, there is something called the phrenic nerve. This is, we've got these two balloons, the two lungs that need to blow up for me to breathe, for you to breathe, for me to breathe, for any human being to breathe. They can't blow up by themselves. What, they have somebody there going, no, they are completely alone. So I don't know who figured this out. I guess God did, or the universe created this phrenic nerve in our brain. Without us knowing it, it sends a signal in our brain. I don't even know what's happening. It's sending a signal on either side of our neck to the diaphragm. And the diaphragm says, got it, boss. Like the phrenic nerve is the boss. And then the diaphragm understands that it has to move. What it does is it contracts. Now, this is why it moves. You ready? You have to understand why it's moving. It'll help us to understand so we don't get in the way. You can't get in the way of this. It drops down and it creates a vacuum. That's why the lungs blow up. It's physics. It creates a vacuum so the lungs fill up with air. Now, this is the other thing that I never got clear until after I had a master's in voice. Maybe they said it, but I didn't understand it. The diaphragm drops down and it pushes aside these organs so your tummy comes out. My teacher said, try to breathe into your belly. So I thought, oh, I better try to put air down here. Now, it still worked a little bit, but when I got it more clear that the air starts where their actually lungs are, that's when suddenly I had higher notes. I had more range. I had more fun in all of my singing, and everything was easier. So now, as the singer, how do we use that information so that our lungs happily fill up? You see, it's pushing aside the organs, so the tummy is, you can see, getting bigger. Now that's the inhale. We're still going to exhale from what I call the support, but we're just thinking about the inhale right now. Okay, here are the lungs. I'm going to focus where the lungs actually live, at the bottom of the lungs, because when we're sleeping at night, that's where they fill up. I'm not going to think about the diaphragm. I'm only going to think about air going down and my tummy releasing out. That's the only, I love my new word. It's not a new word. I love using this word lately. Streamline. We're not going to focus on anything else. We're streamlining air at the bottom of the lungs and release the tummy so the diaphragm can push aside the organs. Here we go. And that's it. Again. Now notice I'm not saying tank up, get as much air as possible. I'm not interested in a lot of air. I'm just interested in the air coming in. That's it. How's it going, Kat? Can you tell me that this is clear? If it's not clear, give me a very clear question of what you're confused about. Again, we're going to do exactly how we breathe at night. When we breathe at night, the tummy rises and falls with the exhale. It rises and falls. Starts here. Now, if you're still feeling like it's going up here, try to compartmentalize now. Really say it's here. Now, if you're a dancer, you might have to really push your tummy because you've been holding this forever. So I would use that command. If you don't have that problem, just let your tummy release. If you do have that problem, think of pushing a bit so that you can release those muscles. Then when they're released, you don't have to think about pushing. But if you've been holding this tight for your dear life and you feel stressed, this is going to release you. Oh, Kat, I'm so happy it's clear. Oh, this is great. Great, Louis. Wonderful. Ron, do you feel a complete relaxing of the stomach muscles on inhale? I don't know what you mean by complete. I just understand that I'm surrendering. I don't like the word relax. We're not relaxing. That we're not doing that. So let's get the word relax out. Let's add the word release. I'm just letting this go. Now, again, if you've been holding super, super tight, Ron, you're a singer. I don't think you have big issues. I think you just have to let your tummy release. Surrender, let, release, don't relax, just release. We're organizing our body as the instrument. So that's the inhale. This is a new way of seeing the song. This is so clear. Awesome, Isabel. So true, the dancer's version. Good, Isabel. So if you're somebody you're a model, or if you hold your tummy, my dancers, they've been learning dance since 3 years old. The nervous system has learned to hold tight. And I talk about it in my book a lot. So now it's what I call changing the channel. You've got dancer channel, model channel, not looking fat channel. Okay, sometimes I don't want to, I'm doing a picture. I don't want to look fat. I'll hold my tummy in. That's okay. We're changing the channel now to singer, actor, human being channel. So this is our breath when we sleep at night. This is the breath we have to have if we're acting, singing. We have to get connected to our body. We have to get connected to our true breath, and we have to get connected to our emotions. It just does it. So that's the inhale. It sounds like everybody's clear. Okay. Now we're going to the support, which is, I've talked about the support so much. And if you don't have the correct support, it's a domino effect. You're not going to be able to get those high notes. It's just not going to happen. So you understand, Kat, why we're going step by step. If it's just like, oh, I just need to sing high notes without my throat, I have to do the steps. So, and I'm really proud of the book because I really take the time in each chapter to really go through every single step, including the confusing phrases, including stories about somebody who just found their breath. I tell Nina's story. She finds her first breath, and she, on the break during our workshop, is having diarrhea and throwing up. Why? Because she had so much emotional trauma. So she was breathing now, and now and she's brilliant. I mean, it's an amazing story. I'm not going to stop and tell the story, but please go read Nina's story. It's life-changing to know her. Nina Binder is her name. She's an amazing photographer right now. She has so many different things she's done in her life. Right now, she's doing photography because she's also got a keen eye. So go check out her story and check her out on Instagram. Go look at her picture. She just took a photo shoot of me. She's the best. Okay. Super belly button. So I make it a superhero because I want you to understand how important it is. I have t-shirts. In fact, I got to reorder them that say super belly button. This is our cry, super belly button. So Kat is saying, I'm unfortunately a person who always overthinks and analyzes. So I guess it's important for me to take a step back and then learn the basics. So listen, honey, I love that you want to analyze. That's so cool. You're probably a Virgo, right? I'm a Virgo rising. I love to analyze also and find out. What I would say, write this word down right now, trust. What you have to add to all that now is trust. We're not even playing the piano where I can just put my fingers on the keys and it plays. We can't put our fingers on our throat and it plays. What Ron was saying, he plays the resonance, but it's all about sensation. It's about sensation, and we're hooking up our breath and support, the motor of our voice, with the vibration. So it's not stepping back to learn basics. It's learning the basics. It's just having to do everything in order. You're not a beginner. That's why I talked about Taylor. She's an advanced, amazing, working professional opera singer. And she told me, Mary, I need to always come there to the order of things and understand. Maybe she's going back to the basics. You've never learned the basics. So we'll do it together. And every time I teach it, I get a review as well. So this is fun for me. I get to review. I'm an artist. We're always reviewing the revolutionary send elements, and we're always taking it to the next level, whatever that level may be. Trust. Yes, Mara, right? Trust is so important. Susan Batson, my acting mentor, teacher, when I was starting this work, she would say to me in class, trust, just trust. And I was like, what does trust mean? Right, Kat? What does she mean? Trust. What do I do? How do I trust? And it really is, there's a letting, there's a surrendering. And if you follow Sierra Boggess, she has her light lessons. Today, one of my cards was surrender. I love that. I love that word because it really means you have to trust. Okay. Super belly button. It's a superhero. This is going to be your power, not your throat. This is your power to connect to your high notes. This is important, Louise. This energy is the important thing. We are now getting out, Lewis, we're getting out of the throat and not thinking about the throat. You missed the opening when I said we're changing our thought that our vocal cords, they're important. We're not focusing on that. We're focusing on the front passage resonators, which I'll talk about again next. But first, we've got to get our super belly button in place. So what happens? We do the S. You've done this awesome inhale. Now the belly button swings in. Notice I'm not saying to grab up here. It's not the gym. We're not doing an ab crunch. We are using our abs, but the lower abs, and we're moving them in. We're not holding them, we're sending them. Thus, I call it the revolutionary send. And remember, it's like, let's see if I can find the picture. It's like a swing. Oh, here it is. Remember, it's like the swing. The diaphragm, when we inhale, it's contracted, drop down, working. Now it's relaxing and rising, and we're following it with this energy like a swing. So let's do this with our hands like a swing. Belly button. Now do this hand gesture. S. Now you see my sternum popping out? Check your sternum. Make sure it's popping out. That means we have no tension here. That's really good. Now let's go to the lip trill or tongue trill, either one, and see if you can do this. Keeps moving in. It doesn't hold, it sends. For men who or women who love basketball, it's like a referee doing the signal for travel. That's going to remind your body, remind your nervous system, remind the muscle memory that we're moving the belly button in. We're not in gym channel. We are in singer, actor, human being channel. When we sneeze, we go, achoo. When we laugh, let's laugh together. This action of moving in protects the vocal cords from hitting each other. It creates a pressure so that our vocal cords will not hurt. Am I telling you to think about your vocal cords? No. I'm telling you to think about this energy moving in. If you can't do the lip trill, push up with your cheeks here. Okay? Here's the picture from the belly button of the balls spinning around each other. And by the way, when we go higher, we need more support. So the balls will spin faster. So let's think about that for a minute, because we already talked about the front passage. Let's say, Now say, cat, with the belly button initiating it. Again, do an S. Now pretend you're going to do another S, but instead do the hum. S. Vibrate. Yeah, Louis, you and I are Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio too, which is great. We're very intuitive. You're very intuitive. You're great, but you need the information about how to sing high notes so you don't go from your throat. Okay. So here we're going up the scale with a lip trill. We need more support. So we're going to go into our legs, because belly button down is support. So just doing a knee bend, that's all you got to do. It's not a plie. We're not pulling up or crunching your buttocks, or we're just dipping into the floor. Belly button's moving in. Here's our voice here. We're going to change the idea that our voice lives here. Instead, it's the speakers of our voice. And Louis, you're a guitarist. Where are the speakers of your guitar? Well, if it's an acoustic guitar, it's the wood, isn't it? And the vibration of the strings and vibration of the air pockets hitting against that beautiful wood. So that's where this is our air pockets right here. And as we go up the scale, we're going smaller for the physics of the high notes. Now I'm going to have you get into your legs for the high notes. There's a guitar. And release your head. Why am I having you release your head? This is so important for Kat, for Louis, for I keep forgetting his name. Here it is. For stake-driven entertainment, because you're focusing here. We've got to now move the muscles of the neck. This is important for all of us, you guys, for me too. We have to keep training our body to understand we are not holding or supporting the voice from here anymore. That's what stake-driven entertainment was doing. He's trying to support "Say You'll Love Me" from singing from his throat. Say, and then his throat is killing him. So it's super, super important. Okay, Chicane in California. Okay, your explanation of breath is literally life-changing. Yay! I was in a body cast, oh my God, as an infant and toddler, and then a dancer. So I didn't learn to, quote, belly breathe. Okay, couldn't let those muscles go. Today, I felt it. Oh, honey, thank you for sharing that. First of all, you're in a body cast as an infant, so what's happening is your nervous system is training from a little kid, and then it stays there. It doesn't understand that as you grow, that you get to change. And then you're dancer. So you're holding your tummy really tight. So you're going to be one of those people that has to perhaps push that tummy out. Thank you for sharing that. And please, you guys, read in the support chapter, Kerry's legs. Kerry, she was in a motorcycle accident and she was in a wheelchair for over a year and had tons of surgeries. So when she came to me, she was healing. She was up on her feet. She wanted to do Anne Margaret, the character of Anne Margaret. So she had to sing and dance. And she was completely void of her legs and her belly button because she had been using her arms had been her legs, keeping her alive for over a year. So we had to change the nervous system of saying, this is now free. Now we're going to use the belly button and the legs. And she did it. She did it. I sent her the story and she cried and said, I had forgotten about that because she's so in her body now, and she was marvelous as Anne Margaret. So I say that for you, Chicane, but also for all of us to understand if we're walking around in the world, like, the saying, you have the world on your shoulders, because we worry, we're in a difficult world. I mean, this is a training ground, the earth. And if we're walking around like this, we have to now go, okay, I can't sing like that. I'm going to release this and use my true support as the body works. When we sneeze, it's the same one. When we laugh, it's the same one. I'm training you guys how the body actually already works. That's why it's so cool. And that's why the body loves it. And that's why 100% of the time when I think it's only been like maybe a 1% when I haven't seen a student for a long, long time, they come back and they're even better because the body wants this. It loves it. So sometimes we can fall back into old habits because, that's normal. But okay, bingo. Hi, good to see you. There's Ronili. Okay, Ronili was having trouble because she had strep throat. Can't do high notes today. I'll come back to this lesson when voice is back, though. Yeah. So these are super, super important elements for you, Ronili, in regards to the breath and the support and the vibration. Now, for those of you who are trying to recover, just a side note, in my book, in chapter 12, I have what's called the healing exercise. We use the tongue, the S, we use the tongue trill, we use an unvoiced tongue trill as well, which is, we use the lip trill, we use the unvoiced lip trill, and I do it all in a particular order. It's from a wonderful doctor in the UK who gave me the exercise, and I honed it for our work. But if you're done with your sickness and you still can't get your voice back, it's a wonderful healing exercise. And so please look at chapter 12, because you guys will be able to have that in your back pocket whenever you need it. Okay, so now let's do our tune. We've got it. We've got the S. We've got the lip trill. Let's do that. Let's do it on an M. Now, Lewis, this is for you. The belly button is moving in. Men, you're down here. Especially for the men. Really think of a tighter space as you go up. The space will feel tight. Ladies, we're going to feel more sort of vibration. Woo, like trilly vibration, but it's also smaller. Men, it'll feel more like You did chapter 12 with me on Audible today. Oh, good, Ronili. Did you feel a little better after, or did you still feel your voice was really rough? If you felt improvement, that's great. If you didn't feel improvement, maybe you need more vocal rest. Sometimes we just have to stop talking and stop talking and vibrating our voice altogether. So sometimes it's better to just be on vocal rest. So Roger, I cannot do the lip trill. I can do the tongue trill. Does that have any significance? So the tongue trill is great. Go ahead and use the tongue trill for now. The significance usually is that if you can't do the lip trill, it means you're opening up the back like, pooh, pooh. So we don't want the back open. We want it just vibrating in the front. It also might be an indication that you're not connecting to the support. If your lips don't trill without the support, so there's two things. Make sure you're not blowing from the back. It just vibrates in the front. You can do this, push up, and just do this for a while. That will help you, okay? And you can keep doing that. If you can do and push up, you can do that forever. It's fine. But you'll find that it'll start living in the right place. A bit rough, but better. It gets better every day, just too slow to your liking. Yeah. It's got its own time frame, honey. So I would be on vocal rest because you're teaching. So really after you teach, just calm down, do the healing exercise, drink water, and don't talk. Fingers help. Good. So do that, Roger. I had to do that at the beginning as well because I didn't have my support correct. Also, I was blowing too much in the back. So excellent. Just do that for the lip trill. All right. Now we're going to do an exercise that's connected to all I ask of you. Here's a really cute picture of me and Sierra working together when this was before she did Phantom of the Opera. She had just finished her run as Ariel in Little Mermaid. I got to start with Sierra, who wrote the foreword of my book. So you're really going to enjoy her foreword. She's just so spectacular. And we met when she was 17 because I was teaching a master class. Doug Webster, the marvelous Doug Webster, had a beautiful workshop called American Song and hired me as one of the voice teachers. So, and we worked together a lot. And by the way, men, I know what I'm saying with men because Doug, he's a incredible baritone. We did Les Mis together. He was Valjean. And so I understand the verbiage to use. Okay, so we're going to work on a little bit of All I Ask of You, partly because it's sung by both Raoul and Christine. So you can sing this as a solo. If you're a man or a woman, it would be totally fine. You don't have to sing it as a duet, I think. Like if you're, I don't know, if you're singing it at a wedding, for example, absolutely. Everybody can sing it. Get your water, very important. Most people like tepid water or room temperature. I like cold water. It's okay. You just got to do what you like. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to say these words. No more talk of darkness. We're going to just say these words through our cheeks. Say these words through your cheeks, okay? Especially you, Kat. No more talk of darkness. No more talk of darkness. No more talk of darkness. You feel that there? If it's in your throat here, you've got to change it and get it vibrating around your lip, your cheeks. And just think of your instrument being here, and you're going to put the words here. Now, you're also going to think of your Raoul or your Christine. You're going to think of somebody who you would love to be with today, who you'd love to take care of, who you want that person to take care of you. Like the need is to be taken care of. So think of the person who you want to be taken care of by. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a they. Maybe it's somebody who you just adore. Like it could be your grandparent. You could be a love. It's just somebody who you just feel so close to. And you want them to take care of you and you to take care of them. Okay? Now, do you have the strongest physical feature of that person? Is it their eyes? Is it their face? Is it their hair? Are they tall? They're short? Or do you have the strongest human quality of that person? Maybe they're generous, or maybe they're loving, or maybe they're funny, or maybe they're aloof. Maybe they don't give you the attention you want. That's good too. We're going to put them on what I call the imaginary fourth wall. So that's the imaginary wall between you and your audience. This is so you can be very private with your person. Now, this helps our technique because we're sending to somebody specific. It's just, I don't know, it's just a magic that works. And so the one reason why it works is then you're not focusing on trying to listen to your voice. That's why, Leo, when you did your debut, it was so spectacular because you had worked so hard on, what acting is, to speak to the person and not think about the words, not get caught up, to your point, Kat, of always checking. So this tool, Kat, will help you not to get into your intellect. The intellect is important sometimes. Right now, we have to see our person, send these words to them. If you want to listen to your voice, have a recorder going as you're doing this with me. And you're going to send to your person. And that will get you out of your analytical mind. We're also going to use something called sensory condition, which is in my book. We're going to put sunshine here. This is another way to get out of your analytical mind. Please read that chapter, Kat, in sensory condition. It's going to change your life. There's a beautiful singer that I talk about who's all caught, and the sensory just got her out of her tension and fear. So let's just put sunshine here, and we're just going to let that be here in our torso. Let's do an S. That's our power. Just speak again. No more talk of darkness. Say that. No more talk of darkness. Now, we're going to put it on one note. No more talk of darkness. Just right around your upper lip. Send those words to your person. No more talk of darkness. Good. Now we're going to do the melody. No more talk of darkness. It's all around your mouth, around this floor. Don't worry, just around this floor. We're not going high yet, so I bet, Louis, this is easy for you. No more talk of darkness. Now we have to sing through vowels, so the ah vowel is very prominent in this song. No more talk of darkness. So talk is an ah. Darkness is an ah. Don't sing R. We'll just say darkness. Darkness. Yeah, there's a whole R thing. We don't want to sing the R. No more talk of darkness. Beautiful. Okay, so if you know the song, great. If you don't know the song, just sing along and you can get out the lyrics on your phone, okay? Okay, here we go. Now, the floor is around your upper lip and your cheeks. All this part is here. Even when we go up and down the scale right now, it's not that high. It's going to stay somewhere in our front passage resonator. And this for you, Kat, is beautiful. Just think of this being your vibration. Put the words. You might not feel the vibration now. Doesn't matter. With your brain, you're just saying you're all living here. That's where you are using your intellect, Kat. Now you're going to send, the belly button leads the tone. Let's just hum that for a minute. Now let's do a tongue trill on it. Let's do a lip trill on it. Good. So you might feel vibrations somewhere in here. You can tell me where you feel it. Feel free to just send a little note. So I just want to go to Roger, what you were talking about with the lip trill. You said it requires a lot of support. Yeah, which means you have to have more support. You're not using enough. You're bringing your belly button in. You need more support. So that's what the lip trill helps us understand. If I drop out my support, then it stops. If your lips stop, it probably means you're not following through with the support. That's why I love that exercise, because you can sing without, like with training wheels on, you can find out the issue. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say, oh, I'm so bad. Just say, oh, I'm learning. I'm getting it. I'm aware. If you can get aware, you've already won. Kat, I feel that you've already won today because you're understanding this vibration. And I promise to talk about chest. I really do. But right now we've got to get this resonator really clear. Okay. Here's the second line. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Let's just put it up on the highest note. The highest note lives around our cheeks. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Imagine, expect it to vibrate somewhere here. Put your hands here. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Yeah. So now you've got all those words living here. Forget these wide-eyed fears. If you're singing, forget these wide-eyed fears, you have a little more support than the lowest note. Now we know the highest note in the phrase. You've got it. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Sing that. Forget these wide-eyed fears. And then it's, I'm here. So again, it's cheeks down to your mouth. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. So again, it's all through here. So glad it's helpful, Kat. This is great. Okay. So here's the line. No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. So see your person and let's just send it. I'm going to throw you the ball. Throw it back to me. No more talk of darkness. Throw it to me. No more talk of darkness. Now I'm going to throw you the ball. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Sing it to me. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Now I'm going to throw this to you. You're going to throw it back. I'm here. It's all in the front. I'm here. Sing that. I'm here. Now sing this. Nothing can harm you. Throw it back. Nothing can harm you. Now I'm going to throw it to you. My words will warm and calm you. Sing it to me. My words will warm and calm you. Now notice that everything is in the front. Notice I'm not telling you to open your throat. No more talk of talk. I don't know why, guys, but some people say to open your throat for everybody. Like, open your throat to sing. I had a student here that to sing opera, her teacher was telling her to focus here, open the back. I mean, it was like, what is going on? And the poor thing had a sore throat, couldn't sing a note. And I don't know why anybody would teach that. But I've only worked with opera teachers myself, so I know that's not a thing for opera because I've studied with classical. So classical, this is how the body works. So 1% of you might have a tight throat. If you have a tight throat, you might have to release to get it back to normal. But we want normal. And if you have a normal situation going on and you try to open it, you're going to have extra dissipation in your voice. Which we don't want. So everything's here. No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. Now, Louis, I know this isn't your home-based style. This is, Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. But how's it going? And what do you think? It's always fun to learn a new style, right? Okay, let's try it together. Let's do an S. Louis is like, I know. Oh, God. I'm singing a Broadway song. I work with Kerry Washington. She knows every verse of Into the Woods by Sondheim. I mean, this is such wonderful music. So it's fun to get introduced to different genres. Why not? Why not? And this is a great way to get our voice in this place. And then we're going to get to the high note, I promise. S. So now you're going to see your person, who you want to take care of, and you're just going to send to them. You can even, if you like throwing the ball, you can even toss it to them. Just make sure your belly button's leading, and you're just thinking of the words living around your cheeks and sending it to your person on the fourth wall. So you're a man. Here's your men. You're an octave below. So don't sing no more talk. Not up there. Down here. No more. That's your note. Ladies, we're here an octave higher. Remember, I told you this is because of hormones. Our voice lives a natural octave above. We're all doing our middle voice right now. Men, you're here. No, it's too low for me to demonstrate. Ladies, we're here. No more talk of darkness. Men, you're here. So go for the low, medium voice, okay? Don't try to sing high, Louis, okay? Clear? Clear, men? I'm sorry, I wish I had an assistant, that was like Eric Anthony Lopez, who sings Phantom. He was in the world tour during the quarantine. It's really great to have an assistant who's a male voice with a woman voice. Maybe I'll be able to do that sometime. Eric, come on over. So here's, guys, ladies, and we're going to see our person on the fourth wall. Just pick a point on the, like I see a poster on my wall. I'm just going to put my person there. I like to sing to my father because he's on the other side. And he's such I feel his presence, that he's protecting me, taking care of me. So I'm going to also take care of him. So I'm going to use my dad. You can use whoever you choose. Okay. So here we go. Let's just try it together. See your person, do an S, say no more talk of darkness. No more talk of darkness. Right where you speak from, you're going to sing right through there. Around your upper lip and cheeks, put the words. Here we go. And no more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Now, same melody. And it's new words. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you. Same melody. Let's try it. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you. Now, heads up. The words guard you and guide you. Notice that the consonant G lives in the back of the tongue. G, g, g. Let's not get seduced in the back to go into the throat. To guard you and to guide you. Instead, you want the G as forward on the back of your tongue as possible. Gi, ge, ga. And then the vowel lives in front. Guard, guide. Say that with me. Guard, guide. Not guard, guide. Very little G. It's almost like a light C. Guard, guide. To guard you, to guard you and to guide you. Good. Let's do the whole beginning. Here we go. See your person on the fourth wall. We're just going to see them and send to them far away, and everything is living around the front passage. Here we go, Kat. All those vibrations. This is where it's living. Dominant resonator. Don't worry about your chest. It's connecting in its own way. We don't have to focus there. Right here. That's why opera singers are always like, They're warming up their voice, which is their resonance. Here we go. No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. See your person. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you. Okay, tell me what you're aware of. But now we're going to go to the high note that Sir Steakhouse publisher freaked out and went, say ya. So now we have to get the sparkle and a higher floor and a smaller space. So we're going to do an exercise going up the floors using the word say. We're going to start low when it's easy. Okay, here we go. Let's do an S. Now just use the words. Say you love me. Say that. Say you love me with the belly button initiating. Say you love me. Good. Now we're going to go a little higher. Speaking higher. Only speaking. Say you love me. Now you're going to release your neck, Lewis. Really release. It's going to be a tighter space up here. We focus we visualize up here that it's a smaller space higher in our front passage. Say you love me. Say you love me. Now speak it even higher. Say you love me. Okay, so here we go. Say you love me. Say it there. Say you love me. Now add the words. Say you love me. Now the word say is really difficult too. It has what's called a diphthong. Two vowels, e and e. We have to stay on the vowel e. Say. If you go say, you're going to already get stress, and that's why it goes into the throat. So we're going to stay on this pure vowel of e. Say you love me. Try that. Say you love me. Now you're going to release the jaw. The tongue is released, and the tip of the tongue is on the back of the bottom teeth, and we're going to move our jaw. Say you love me. Good. The jaw swings away from the tone. This is your pitch, Lewis, Ben, Roger, Ron. Say you love me. That's your real pitch. Ladies, we're higher here. Now it's around our cheeks. Say you love me. The word lives on this higher floor, smaller space. Move your jaw. Say you love me. The jaw swings away from the tone. We don't want to go say you. That hurts because we attach the jaw and then it goes into our throat. You feel so much more freedom in the vibrato. Yay, Isabel. Oh my God, this is a step forward, honey. So thrilled. Love it. Now, a little higher floor, a little smaller space. Now it's going to live through what I'll call a laser beam. S. Say you love me. This is free, moving away, but the space is smaller. Say you love me. Men, Louis, you're going to feel a tighter space. Say you love me. Be like this laser beam coming through. Ladies, we're going to go very sparkly. We're not doing belts. We're doing, we're doing legit now. And we're going to get those overtones. So it's going to be higher, more around the eyes now. Say you love me. Notice I'm using my finger thinking as a laser beam. Guys, it's going to feel tighter space through this laser beam. Guys, it'll feel more like, say you love me. Ladies, we're sparkling on top. Say you love me. Okay? Woo! Try that again. S, breath. It goes here and then here. This is what the great sopranos talk about, or the mezzo-soprano, Marilyn Horne. I saw her when she was 80 years old. They really use these actions. They say here, and it starts here. This is our instrument. The resonance is our instrument. So think of it starting here. Roger, how's it going? Don't go into falsetto, Roger. It's going to be a tighter space and just go for it. If you have your support, you'll be okay. See your person and send it to them. They're far away. Really send. Say you love me. Good. Going higher again. Higher floor, smaller space. Ladies, we go sparkle. Say you love me. All this is not connected. Roger, so far so good. Woo! Even the higher pitch. Woo! I am so happy, Roger. My songs require me to sing faster tempo. It's harder for me to keep in front at tempo. Well, the reason is that you're not connecting to your support. You drop your support and then everything falls back. You've got to send through the motor. It's like suddenly the motor's out. When you're on a motorboat, everything stops. So you've got to keep this leading, whether it's say you love me every waking moment. I have to make sure that my support is leading it. Say you love me. Higher floor again. Let's speak it up there. You can speak it first. Say you love me. Ladies, say it like that. Say you love me. Guys, say you love me. Say you love me. Right, like through your space. Ladies, say you love me. Say you love me. Oh, it's so helpful so that you can know that, yes, higher floor, smaller space. Here we go. And you're there. Say you love me. It's going to be around your eyes. It's going to be that pitch. Say you love me. Ladies, here we are. Say is very vertical. Don't go wide like say. Say. Say that with me. Say. So we have to stay on the eh, not on the e. It's not say you love me. No, say you. Here it goes. Woo! Now, I'm hoping the guy from the Mr. Steakhouse is with us because this goes here. Now the word lives up here. No throat involved. Don't worry about your throat. No thinking there. Think here. Laser beam, belly button, laser beam. Say you love me. Woo! Try that again. S. Say you love me. Now, if I tried to get a bigger space up there, say you. It's in my throat. It's dissipated. It's not the physics of singing. Say, and it hurts. If I go with the physics of singing, thinking in a smaller laser beam, I'll be in the physics. I've got my support, and I'm sending. And I'm sending because there's a person on my dad's on the fourth wall, and I could just send it to him. Belly button. Say you love me. Now we're going to come do the whole phrase, which is, oh my gosh, that's a phrase using all of the floors. Say you love me every waking moment. Lowest floor, whether you're a man or a woman, is always around the mouth. Don't try to push down. Mama. Don't try to do any of that. That's important for you, Kat. Even in belting, we will most likely do the lowest notes to vibrate around the mouth. So this is the lowest floor. Don't think of going lower than that. Just every note, the lowest note, just think of it vibrating here. Me, me, ma, 3 blind mice. Do that with me. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. Keep it to your mouth. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. Getting lower, but I'm keeping it here. Whoops, I can't play. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. It's low. I'm not going mice. I'm going mice. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. I bet Leah can sing that and lower. I sound squeaky on that note. That say may not belong to me. It's there for a second, too brief to send anywhere. It's okay, Leah, really. What we just did 3 blind mice, and I bet you anything you went really super low. What this is difficult for you, I would say we would maybe change the key for you. Like if we went, no more talk of darkness. So then it'd be, say you love me every. Try this note, Leah. Say you love me. I bet you can do that one. So don't worry. You're 75. You've got these glorious notes. You're learning how to do your speech into singing. What's really the next step is the legato of connecting. So this is a little outside your comfort zone today. So don't worry. I don't want you to push it. I would say, yeah, stay. What we would do with you is do this a fourth down, and it would be fine. Oh, she's 79, ladies and gentlemen. So the fact that your voice is so fresh at 79, there is age. I mean, that's true. But you've got low notes. Tell me that 3 blind mice was easy for you, right? Though for me, it was harder. So all is well. Okay, Ron, this shouldn't be squeaky for you, though. No, you should be able to do this. Say you love me. Men, you're here. Ladies, we're up here. Say you love me. Men, you're here. Say you love me. Put the words up here. Louis, can you do say you love me? Say you love me. It's the higher one. Ladies, we're here. Say you love me. Let me know. Not squeaky, just 79. Oh my gosh. See, I didn't, but Ron, you've been a singer for a long time. Leah's new to this. She made her debut. But oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Sorry. I was like, Ron, you should do this. Well, I heard your voice. I had no idea you were 79. No idea. That is freaking me out. I love it. Okay. So now, ladies, let's do it. Say you love me. Guys, you're here. Say you love me. Here we go, ladies and men. S. Laser beam. Think here. Smaller. Lots of energy. Say you love me every waking moment. Beautiful. Okay, you can at that pitch, Louis? This is great. Because if you can do that pitch without your throat involved, you're going to be able to get the highest pitches, which we're going to do next. Let's do this, guys. Say you love your... Okay, so I'll do the thing where I throw it back back and forth, because then if you don't know the song, you can learn it quickly. If you do know the song, it's good practice. So I'm going to send it, then you send it back to me. I send it. Say you love me every waking moment. Throw it back. Say you love me every waking moment. I go to you. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Send. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Good. Let's do that and then have the lyrics in front of you. It's the same. Then we repeat the same melody, just different lyrics. Okay. Let's do it together. Yay, Phantom. Here we go. See your person, send it to them, stay in the laser beam, jaw swings away, and say you love me every waking moment. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Say you need me. Say you need me with you now and always. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask of you. Now, I can't see you. You better be standing up for all this. You better not be sitting down and doing it like this. Stand up, take your power, and when you do sit down, you are not to cross your legs. I should have told you this in the beginning. I'm just sort of assuming. So please, please, stand and go. I'm trying to play the piano with you. So there we are. Oh my gosh. Now you got it. So we're now going to do the very last high note. This is too high for you, Leah, so just sing it an octave lower. If I could play the piano better, it'd be good. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Say that with me. Anywhere you go, let me go too. So Lewis says, only place I can sing is in my car. Yeah, that's because no one's listening and you feel free. You've got to go to a practice room or somewhere where you feel free, because you got to stand and sing too, sir. I know you're a guitarist and most of you guys, but stand up now. Stand up now. Are you in your car right now? Stand up. Okay. So what I love to do, so this is super high. So that's what we're aiming for. Super high A flat. So notice it's going to be high in the pyramid, small. Now I've done this for a long time, so I know I'm sitting down. I know I better have that support connected or I ain't hitting the note. But what we're going to do is we're going to lead up to that. So we're going to do it an octave lower. Okay. So stand with me, throw the ball. Don't be sitting down. I love yelling at you, even when I can't see you. Okay, S. So now this is around our cheeks. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Sing that. Anywhere you go, let me go too. That's super, super low. Let's go back up to. We're going to go to say you love me. That was our note. Now we're going to do anywhere right there. Listen once. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Now I had a question from Carol last week about how to sing some of Phantom of Wishing, these high notes. This is the same information. We have to put these words up on that high floor and not be seduced by the consonances that live in the back, like anywhere you go, 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 go. If we get into too big of a G, it's going to throw us back. So anywhere you go, let me go too. It has to stay in the front. Now we're going to go a little higher. Here it comes. Listen once. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Try sending that to me. Anywhere you go, let me go to. You see what I mean about the G? Don't go g g g. Anywhere you go, anywhere you go, you go, let me go to. Takes a little practice. Say e ge ga, e ge ga. Very light. Go, let go. Yes. Now we're gonna go higher again. This might be hard. It might be new territory. That's okay. This needs to be really tight. Now, how you doing, Louis? You are down here. Anywhere. You got to bring in that tight space up here. Lots of support. Get out of your throat. Meaning, put sunshine here. This is released. This is where you're thinking. Put your thought here. This is important for you too, Kat. Into these tighter space. For a guy, it's going to be really a tight space. Anywhere. Oh, let's see. It would be like me belting high. Anywhere you go, let me. That's going to be the tight feeling. For ladies, it's going to be sparkle. Anywhere you go, let me go to. Lots of sparkle. You can do it. The you in any song always messes me up. There you go. Yes. Now you know the trick, Louis. Now you know why. You. Where does that live? Oh, yeah is in the back of the tongue and the back of the throat. So what happens is it gets you into that throat, which kills you. I heard you. You sent me that audio. Your voice is so awesome. Your tone is beautiful. It's pro. You play the guitar like a god. And you sing so great. But when you go up to these high notes, don't get into a lot of g and ya. Just say you. We will get the note. You. Anywhere you go, let me go to. Delia, yes, like Tinkerbell. Good, honey. I love that you know that. I say that in the book. So for the high notes, ladies, we want Tinkerbell, sparkle, Tinkerbell. So let's go here. So listen once. It's like we got this bell, like a Tinkerbell bell. Try that with me. Anywhere you go, let me go to. Then it comes down the floors. And like Ron said, is it possible to make it too thin? If I stayed in the high note zone, anywhere you go, let me go to. Yeah, then that's called high note envy. I'm doing everything like a high note. No, we have to come down the pyramid. Let me go to. So it'll be more textured and lovely and warm. Now, let's go to the real key. We've been working our way up, feeling pretty easy now, right? Now it's not, oh my God, it's a high note. It's way up there. No, because we have support and we understand the physics, smaller space, higher floor, smaller space. Here it comes. Ladies, it's like this bell, sparkle, sparkle, Tinkerbell. S. S. Let me go to. Just say anywhere you go. Speak it up there. Anywhere you go. Belly button. Anywhere you go. That's where you sing it. Anywhere you go, let me go to. Wow. How's it going? Okay, I think we're ready for this. Shall we do it? So there's a big break. You hear all this music. This is when they're kissing. This is when Raoul and Christine kiss. So what do you you do as a performer, let's say you're not doing Christine and Raoul, maybe you're singing at a wedding. I've done that before. I've had to sing at a wedding and I'm singing this and suddenly there's an instrumental. What do I do as the singer? Do I sit there and then wait for it to be over, or look at the pianist? Or, what's really great to do is you just see to your person on the fourth wall, you let your mouth be released, and you just stay in the need to be protected, the need to be loved, and you expose that, and you just see your person, and you just breathe, and you just look at them, and you imagine them. Are they talking to you? Are they reaching to you? Are they walking away from you? What are they doing? And just be there with them. And the audience will be riveted. You'll feel like, oh my God, is this interesting? It is interesting. You just stay there, breathe, and stay with the person. And that's enough. Isn't that crazy? And that's where you trust as well, Kat. You have to trust. When I place the voice like in front of my palate, I can go higher. Okay. This is a floor. Don't worry about your palate. Please stop thinking about your palate. If you're thinking about the actual bones and you're thinking about your throat, you're going to get jammed. Okay, you're aware of the floor around your cheeks here. That's fine. Around your palate. Okay, but please don't think about the palate. Don't think about raising the soft palate. Don't think about any of that. It's automatically happening because we're thinking smaller space and higher floor. But I don't want you to think about the anatomy. Do you understand what I'm saying, you guys? If we focus in on the anatomy and how it's working, yes, we need to understand it, but not to sing like that. If you start focusing on the anatomy, it's not going to work. We're focusing on the vibration. So you're saying you're focusing on it around the palate? Good, because I say cheeks, that's true. I get worried when I hear the word palate because I've heard too many teachers say, raise the soft palate and throw your larynx down. I mean, it makes me crazy because it's going to jam you. So let's just say you're focusing on the higher floor and moving up into the shape of the pyramid. Okay? Beautiful. Oh, your middle name is Raoul. Oh, see, you do need to learn this style. This is great, Louis Raoul. That's beautiful. Ron, what key do they do this song on stage? It's this key. Why would I give you a different key? So the key is B, E, A, D, G flat. So it's in the key of D flat. Key of D flat. I always give you the original key, or I tell you. So I would never change the key to the original. Okay. No, it's not your bad. You did a great job, Louis. I just am explaining because I have so much experience with hearing other teachers talk about anatomy and they could get confused that that's pedagogy, and it's not. It's actually anatomy. And yes, it's so helpful to know what happens. But anyway, you didn't say it wrong. I'm very pleased. Rain. So like in the music of the night, when you sing spirits start to soar, I tend to sound breathy at the end of soar. Why I can hit that same note if I start singing with that note. Let me see if I understand. Spirits start to soar. Music of the night. Let's see if I can find that really quick. Because it's a good question. Rain is talking about the Phantoms singing the music of the night, and you guys have to sing that note soar. You have to sing it both fortissimo, and then you have to sing it also pianissimo. This is the wrong. The music of the night, 32. Okay. Because it's a really good question. To sing soft notes, you guys, you have to really have your support, like super, super big. Yeah, so it's also the A flat, like we're just doing. So if you're saying, let your spirit start to. Now this is falsetto, Rain. So you're going to just do it in that little falsetto. When you do it really where you long to be, and it has to be tight space and send through that. But the first time it's pianissimo, it's falsetto. Change your voice, flip into that falsetto. Try not to make it too airy, meaning make the laser beam smaller. If the laser beam's too wide, you might have a dissipation of airiness. Just get it nice and clean. Okay? All right, my loves, it's time to sing the song all the way through. So what we're going to do, get out the lyrics. I am going to have a backtrack, and we're going to all sing it together. I'll try to remind you with little signals of what we're working on with the front passage. Yeah, those are a lot of flats. It's a great key of D flat, Roger. Rain, do you have any tips for singing a lower note and going up to a high note suddenly? Yes, and I talk about that in my book quite a bit. So if we just do it on to soar. So you have to do a lower floor for the lower note. The higher note is going to be what? Up the floors, remember? Will it be a bigger space or a smaller space? Ah, smaller. Will we need more or less support for the higher note? More. So what do? This is your tip. To soar, to soar. Spirit star to. This is for the men, but ladies, we can sing along. Around your cheeks, and then it's going to go up to a smaller space higher. You need to really give energy to make that octave leap. Spirit star to soar, to soar. To practice, go to the high note first. Spirit star to soar, spirit star to soar. Then you understand what energy you need in the floor and the space for the high note and the energy of the support that you need for the high note. Then you can jump up to it. Spirit star to soar, because I already practiced it up there. Okay, so that's my tip. All right. And I use happy birthday. Happy birthday. Same thing. More energy of support, smaller space. Happy birthday, dear. Ron, rain. Rain. So pretty. Okay. We're going to give this a try. Now, this is our end, guys. We're going to end with this. So get out the lyrics. We didn't go through the whole song. And that's okay, because you understand where it lives in the front passage, and it repeats a lot of the melodies. The lyrics are going to be different. There might be G's. There might be yas, U's, go-go-go's, G's. So remember, those consonants must be very in the front. Don't let them fall back. Okay, thumbs up. Are you ready? Give me the thumbs up. Let's have a little drink of water. Oh my God. And when we're not singing, you see your person. Let your lips be a little bit open, meaning just that it's more vulnerable. The audience can come into you. You can just breathe there. See your person. I'm going to change to a romantic person who I want to see so that I get very romantic in the song. Somebody I'd love to see. Yes, I'm getting some thumbs up. You guys are ready. Oh, good, Rain. I'm glad that helped. My pleasure. Excellent. Okay, thumbs up it is. Here we go. I think this will be the right volume. There's a little bit of an introduction. I will, of course, be singing along, so you can sing along with me, but make it your own. Don't make me the front voice. You sing out and you sing to your person. So we're going to organize our imaginary fourth wall, see that point, put the person who you'd love to be with, who you'd love to take care of. You need them to take care of you. What's their strongest physical feature, strongest human quality? They're on a point, not up here. They're not over here. We want the audience to go into your eyes. The eyes are the window to your soul. You're going to be vulnerable with intimacy with your person. Into me, see. And you're private with this person. And you're sending to this person. This is going to be really important no matter what style you're singing in. Even though we're doing Broadway right now, this is important for pop concerts, any concerts, rock concerts. I saw my student in a rock concert last week. She was fantastic. You've got to personalize and send. More thumbs up. Great, Rain. Great, Roseanne. Great, Bingo. Great, Chicane. Isabel. Awesome. Here we go. See your person? Here it comes. No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you. Still me every waking moment. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Still need me with you along the ways. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask. Let me be your shelter. Let me be your light, yourself. No one will find you. Your fears are far behind you. All I want is freedom. A world with no more noise, and you always beside me, to hold me and to hide me. Still share with me one love, one lifetime. Sing a welcome to your solitude. Still need me with you here beside you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Christine, that's all I ask. Still share with me one love, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow you. Share with me each night, each morning. Count your mouth. Say you love me, you know I do. Love me, that's all I ask of you. Just stay there and see your person. Now it's coming, the high notes. We got to get prepared emotionally, physically. Here comes the high note. Woo! And let me go to love me. That's all I ask of you. Stay there. See your person. Breathe. Then you can break. Wow, wow, wow. I hope the music was not too loud. I hope the mix was okay. It might have been too loud, but how did it go? Give me your last I am aware. Let me know what you're aware of. I'm aware. I love to be with you guys. I love sharing this information. It's really special for me to share it with you. Oh, good, Chicane. Thank you. It wasn't too loud. Woo, good. I was like, oh gosh, I didn't quite do the sound check before. So that's good to know. These notes were easier when standing. Yeah, you can't do this. We don't do voice lessons sitting down unless we're choosing, Leah, to do a song where we sit. But, of course, I'm sitting and I'm playing the piano and I'm teaching. So next time I'll be sure to remind you. Yay! You've got to come back and sing this song, honey. We saw each other at Disney World. You're so cool. Isabel, you felt a lot of improvement these last months by just trusting the support and instead focusing on the frontal passage, keeping the low notes not below the upper lip and thinning the high notes. Yeah, we can call it more narrow. Thinning sounds like a bad word. So let's say it's more narrow. It's a tighter space because we're keeping the pressure, but it's going to be tighter. And this is important for our high belt as well, which I promise, if you're interested, Kat, next week, I promise I can do a ladies belting where you can understand, but I really wanted you to get this first today. I know it's more soprano, or it is soprano. I'd love to hear from you, honey, what you're aware of. That's great, Isabel. But there is an aspect of the emotional healing of your method that only comes in fully when watching your classes. Oh, I'm so glad for the healing aspect, because I have found this process to really help my life. The fact that we have the demand to go to these deep places and to find out, that's what makes us human. We're human to have all of these different emotions. They're not fun to go through, that's for sure. But how cool do we have an art form to be able to release them and use them and then it's fun. Like Lillian and I were talking about, I said, Lillian, you have such a beautiful voice, and you said that this is new for you, and yet you connect like an actress like that. And she said, Mary, it's really fun to connect to the pain. And I was so like, oh my gosh, that's what I feel. Now everybody's different, but Lily and I, we have fun connecting to all that pain, right? Ron, who is 79. I didn't know that, Ron. This is so cool to have our beautiful elders in the group. I'm an elder as well. So many good things to work out. I would love, and Lillian says, I would love to sing this one. I can't wait to catch up on your live lessons. Yeah, I know you're working, honey. You're working hard at Disney World. So awesome. Anybody can come back and listen. They'll be there. Roseanne, this was so helpful. Thank you. Oh, good, Roseanne. So glad. And if you guys could spread the word on the book, I'd be so honored. It's just so cool to share the information, and it's helping people with their, the voice. I always say with their voice, and I always say our communication, our voice is really a spiritual channel. And when we lift it to singing, it's more personal, more intimate, more vulnerable, and it's just so special. And you need to have your voices in the world. We need you right now. We need you always, but especially right now. Leah, this way of finding our true voice is also training ourselves to be fully alive. There you go, honey. I have to agree. That's what I feel. Thank you for sharing that. Chicane, I'm aware that I have more breath space in me than I ever before, and it made feeling the emotions of the fourth wall easier to experience. Notes came from my top floor, not the squeezing of my throat. Excellent. And what I love is we just took a little breath and you had more breath. So remember, I'm not saying tank up. I'm just like, take a breath. And that was enough. And you said you had more breath just from taking a little breath. Wow. Oh, Kat, this is awesome. You are aware that it helped. This is great. These are the steps, the first steps I wanted you to go through. So you guys can always go back to this video, practice with it. You can go to the book, read some stories, go to another, I've got my other series. I've got also 2 Wednesdays already for Mary's book series. You can go back to those. Number 1, I really work on breath support and resonance, and I always work on them, but maybe you'll find something different in each one. You can go to my Monday series. You can go to my quarantine series. There's lots of lessons to go to. So feel free to check them out. And also write me a question. Kat, your question this week, and also Steakhouse question, that really brought us to this. I'm taking it off of you guys, what I feel you're needing. And whoever's asking questions, you're the ones I'm going to be really focusing in on. Thank you, Lillian. Yes, great, honey. So Kat says she was confused because she didn't often sing in soprano. Right. But then first teach my body to sing high notes in general before singing them in chest or mix. You know, Kat, that's correct. I really think learning, even if you're a belter first, learning the front passage, because we have to sing in our chest voice for mix and all different styles as well, pop and stuff. It's not all only belt, but to learn how to get to those high notes, even if they're just more head voicey and not maybe it's not your classical voice is your main style, but you have to understand these physics, and then we will bring it to your chest. Now, somebody like Jerry Sager, who I brought up earlier, I haven't worked with her before. She's just a professional. We did Les Mis together. She's traveling with her shows. You know, I would probably work with her first on her chest voice, and then if she wanted to venture into the soprano, we would. But for you and for that's 1%. For all the rest of us, this is really a good order. And you know, you might be in that 1%. I can't tell. I don't know you. But this is why I'm trying to do it in this order. And in the book, I'm trying to give you wherever you are. It's not cookie cutter. It's not like if you do, you know, this is the way for everybody. Some people have different issues. So I'm trying to really acknowledge that issue and say how to clear it up. So this is great. Yeah. Do you understand me, Kat? I think you said it perfectly, honey. Wonderful. Oh, you are a gift, Leah. Thank you, darling, for that. I'm just so honored. So, Lewis, I secretly think I'm a tenor. Yeah, of course you're a tenor. Or maybe that's what I choose to believe. No, you're a tenor. I heard your voice. You have high notes. You were in your throat. Did this work today? Did you try those high notes? You said you sang the A flat. You're a tenor. You just had this really weird idea that you had to sing from your throat to sing a high note. And we have to get that habit out of your system, that muscle memory. Does that make sense, Louis? Chicane, I'm aware that I know how to breathe for the first time. This is causing muscles to release that couldn't before. Brava. Amazing. Isabel. Leah, congratulations on your debut, right? Thank you for saying that to her. Looking forward to checking it out. It's so cool, you guys. And to watch her actress in action, oh my God. Go check it out. Your last teacher said you're a bass, and I felt offended. I think I also have this section in my book that says, okay, here are the different categories, but please don't make yourself a category and say that's it, because your teacher might have been wrong. You know, you just want to do the tools and see where your voice goes. Maybe you're jammed and you can't sing the high notes. I think that's why you said I'm a bass, so I'm not allowed to sing high notes. I have to sing them from my throat, and they don't work, Louis. So I'm with you. I think you're a tenor. Yay, Kat. It makes sense. You learned, Kat, before from a teacher that there are two voices, the chest and the head voice. So I thought they are connected to all and completely different. So there is a style. There's a belting style, and there's a style of singing in classical voice, but there's a connection with all of these resonances, the chest resonance and the head voice resonance. So yes, I can sing in only head voice. I can sing in only chest. But when we're styling it, there's different stuff going on. So it was a confusion. We're getting it clear now, which is great. It helped, Louis. Still a ways to go, but you're seeing progress, especially in the belly button support. That's super good. That's huge. That's more than huge. Thank you, Chicane. Oh, your name is Mary too. Oh, hi, Mary. That's so cool. Roger, I feel the vibration at the floor, in the floors here. I feel I need to keep it there as the song progresses. Yeah, what happens, your old habit is to sing in your throat too, Roger. So this is now your instrument. When you go higher, go higher floor, smaller space, and put the words in the higher floor. You're used to throwing it back in your throat. So you've made a lot of progress. Keep working on it. Thank you, Bingo. It was challenging. You had fun. Good. Kat, you're going to focus on your breathing, on trust, and practicing high notes in general. Good, honey. I would go back. If you enjoyed a lot of these exercises, go back to this, to this video and keep practicing with it. So I'm reminding you of things. Sometimes, we forget. So Practice your breathing. Practice the S. You can't do that too much. And practice connecting it to your voice, which is your front passage resonator. Okay, Roger, we are singing all the notes in head voice, even the low ones, which makes me feel more control. So you're a man. You guys, Birds and Moons is a man, Roger. And like I said at the beginning, men, this is your voice always. And I would just call it front passage. Don't call it head. I don't want you to think falsetto. It's your strong, vibrant voice in your front passage resonator. Okay? Good. I'm going to have to go. So I'm going to finish up these last questions. Trust is such a good word. You're only sitting. I knew you were sitting, Louis. I was like, wait, Louis, stand up. I wondered what it would sound like standing. Yeah, you can't sit. I told you to stand up and you didn't stand up at the very end. I'm very mad at you. No, we have to stand up. We have to, your whole body. You guys are athletes. It's not just here. It's not just here. We learned today. It's not even just here. It's your whole body. Your legs are involved too. And when you're on a stage, rock concerts, the guys aren't sitting down. Maybe the pianist is, but not always. Please stand when we're doing this. I'm going to remind you next time. Thank you, Mara. So glad you came. Thanks for coming for the first time. Woohoo! Great to meet you. Is it possible to send me an audio recording somewhere? Sure. So I would suggest to go to my website. And the best way to send an audio is to do a private link on YouTube. Then I'm sure to get it. But go to my website, go to Contact Mary, and I'll get it for sure. And just tell me who you are and to remind me so I know. And I'll write you back and I'll take a look and I'll give you some feedback. You could also do it on Instagram in a direct message. But I think it's easier maybe through my website, marysetrakian.com, and just go to Contact Mary. And I'll get it. Great, Kat. Oh, I'm so happy this worked. I was, you were the inspiration of you and Louis and Mr. Steakhouse were the inspirations for today. So thank you. So Leah's sharing that it's the first time in 55 years that she sang to make her debut. And it's stunning. Just scroll down or go to Leah's page. I don't know if you shared it. I don't know if you did, but I sure did. So go check it out. Okay, my darlings, I love you guys. You're the best. Come back and practice with this if you want. We were really in the moment today. This is really crazy good. So I love you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing the information. Please be sure to share my book if you can. I'd be so honored. I'm hoping to come to your town, whether it's overseas or here in the US, so that we can meet in person and do some work together, some master classes, presentations. My book is Sing, Find Your True Voice, and it's on Amazon worldwide. So here in the US, Amazon.com. Hey, if you want to do the audiobook, you'll have my voice with you, and I'll be doing the exercises with you. And it's not different than the book, but I even add stuff, because I'm there with you in the room. So I even add some extra things that you're really singing with me. And that makes me so happy. I love singing with you guys personally. So this will be cool. Okay, Rain. Thank you, doll. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Chicane, Mary. And I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Bye for now. See you next week. Our last Wednesday in April. It's next week. So invite some friends and I'll see you here. Bye for now.